We're going freaking live.
Right.
All right, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Let's give everybody some
We're
let's give us some
going
time. Freaking live. Wait, what the heck?
right.
All right, hold on a second. Wait a minute. All right, we're live, dude. Let's get it.
All right. Let's do it.
Wait, what is up, guys? This is your boy Andy Matrix. Welcome to the show. Today, we're gonna be talking all things Disney, and I mean all things Disney. The entire disaster that is Disney. We're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna be talking about Disney anime, Bob Chapek, Disney movies that are coming out. You know, everything Disney, because it's no longer, you know, the Magic Kingdom is over. The Magic Kingdom is over. The old Disney talent is leaving, and they're gonna be, you know, doing other things. And I have here my friend George. Introduce yourself real quick, George, please.
Yeah. What's up? I'm George, or JP, as some people would call me. And so Disney.
Really
things
quick,
have
George.
changed.
Just tell them about your what school you go to and what you're currently studying.
Oh yes. I currently go to UConn Stanford, and I'm currently studying digital media and design.
Digital media and design.
And yep. And digital media design encompasses film, also sound design, game 3D animation and gaming, as well as digital culture, and also digital business strategies.
Okay, great. Yes, and with George's studies, you know, going to school he's actually going to school studying, you know, the media, the business, and he's going to give us some insights, right? And you know, we're not just going to be talking about Disney, but also, like, you know, the artist part of it and the business side of it as well, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad I have my friend George here. He's going to UConn here in Connecticut, and yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna go over some, you know, some news articles, and we're gonna do some critiques. We're also gonna be talking about Disney anime, like I said. George is gonna give us his perspective on things as you know, while he's studying, but as you know, as he's studying his you know, the industry, and also working in the industry as well. So right, and the first thing I want to get started with is, hold on, is our friend here. We are at piratesandprincesses.net. This news article was actually going viral. Can you see it, George?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so piratesandprincesses.net, it says Disney CEO Bob Chapek doesn't seem to think adults want animation. Now, I want you to, you know, be able to grasp that mentally. Like, this is the CEO. This is the CEO.
I think they gave the job to the wrong person.
I mean, are you kidding me? The CEO is saying adults do not want animation. Go ahead, George.
Okay, first of all, this is where the CEO is making a mistake. First of all, Disney is a family-friendly company, and the majority of their audience is kids. And what do kids like? Cartoons. They love cartoons. There's a generation of kids who have yet to be introduced to Mickey Mouse, and they want to know, you know, they want to have that experience that their parents had with Mickey, you know, with their own version of Mickey. And, you know, and yeah, Disney could keep its classics on there, and as parents, you know, the parents could show them, but yeah, Disney's still creating, you know, original ideas, and yeah, their ideas, they switched from 2D to 3D animation, but at the same time, like, I'm sorry, animation is a big key market, and what makes Disney, I understand that they're right now pushing for more live action content, especially with superheroes, such and so forth, but okay, that's one portion of your demographic. Literally, we, like, What are you going to show like little kids? Yeah, little kids like superheroes too, but like you still gotta have variety because right now, I'll tell you, like as a superhero fan, as a Marvel fan, the market is a bit oversaturated. Like I kind of have to take a break from it, and I'm pretty sure kids will get that way too. But yeah, I don't know what the CEO is thinking. Like Andy, what do you think? 'Cause I honestly think like what he's doing, as
Oh
far
wait,
as
sorry, I had my mic was on mute. Sorry guys, I was on mute for a second.
yeah, cause like how I was saying, he shouldn't be like I don't think he understands what Disney was meant to be. Don't get me wrong, Disney has always had a mixture of live action and animation, but it's the animated characters that bring people in. Like when you think of Disney, you think of three circles that make the mouse. The mouse is an animated cartoon. That is your mascot. That is your key demographic. Your key demographic is a mascot that appeals to kids.
And they're about to lose that mascot too.
Yeah. Unless like they find a way to renew, and yeah, it's like they're really trying to deconstruct what makes Disney Disney. And honestly, if Disney had just you know not done these decisions, one, they would still have that whole tax cut because Disney it operates like it's its own country. It does, and that's why they had the huge tax rate that DeSantis took away.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, everyone was fine with that. But now they're, they had to raise their prices because they no longer have that tax cut. And it's like sad that, they are making such poor decisions, not just only with animation, but they're also trying to push animation with political agendas. Like, don't get me wrong. I get you want diversity. I'm all for it. I'm all for, characters of color. Like, Andy and I are both, Hispanics, therefore we are, by societal definitions, people of color. However, like I never saw just because a character is, white, that didn't stop me from looking up to them as a hero. Yeah, it was cool to see more characters. Like as we grew up, we saw characters, and I'm going a little bit outside of the Disney realm, like Static Shock. He was black, or we saw Green Lantern who was black, and
Okay.
and it's like, okay, fine, you saw it as cool, but we didn't get like, oh, just because we didn't find a character who is this color and this certain, like, we didn't get angry over it. I don't get why,
Yeah, and really quick, George, I just want to go over some of the things that Mr. Chapek here says. Some of his own words, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
He says during his now infamous live stream with the Wall Street Journal, he expresses his opinion that adults don't want to watch Disney animated films or projects. This is what he says. He says, I always say that our fans in our audiences put their kids to bed after watching Pinocchio or Dumbo or The Little Mermaid. They're probably not going to tune into another animated movie. They want something for them. And this is such a oh man. This is such a kind of like a boomer mentality, kind of like
It sounds not just boomer, no, it sounds like a tone deaf mentality.
yeah.
A very tone, it's like, bro, you are the head of one of the most family friendly, the longest running family friendly organization since I want to say the 50s, for a span of decades, for a span of decades. So literally, like, why are you like destroying what makes Disney Disney? It's like, okay, yeah, parents want to watch something that's, but guess what? A lot of the stuff that they want to watch is their old Disney favorites, which, yeah, some of them are live action, and some of them are freaking animated. Like,
Exactly.
like what is wrong? I'm sorry, and this dude literally looks like the villain from Tony Stark from Iron Man.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, he
I
literally
was
looks
thinking
like
about
the villain
that.
from Iron Man 1. Yeah,
He looks like the
literally
villain
looks
from
like it.
Iron Man, right? Like the dude was
Yeah,
what was his
the
name?
first one. Yeah. He literally looks like the villain from Iron Man 1. Like, bro, like, no.
Yeah, man.
you could tell we are living in some type of weird world where Disney is doing good, and I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Where Disney is doing horrible, and WWE is doing good.
Yeah. It's kind of
Yeah,
amazing. Kind of amazing. Like I mean, and again, like even here it says that, Disney, the entire company of Disney was funded on animation, and Walt Disney Animation was the gold standard. Chapek and the company want to shoehorn in animation IP to the theme parks with new Coco, Moana, and Encanto theme park chaos. But animation is only for kids, right? And look, because I think it was in the late 2010s. I think it was around 2008.
yeah. Within
Something really weird happened in 2008, because in 2008 that's also when people say Cartoon Network died. There must be some kind of curse. Also, also,
I yeah.
2008 was the year of the economic collapse. So there was a lot happening.
When the Cartoon Network died thing, I disagree with that because we still had a lot of animations coming out. I would say maybe around 2000, maybe I want to say 14. I mean, we still get animations from Cartoon Network, but right now their animation department, like they just
Not like
Cartoon
before
Network.
though, but it's cheap animation.
Yeah, the thing
though.
is, yeah, the thing is, Cartoon Network was being experimental with live action shows. They pretty much wanted to be like Nickelodeon, and when Nickelodeon had live action shows, which okay, it was a fun experiment, but bro, you're Cartoon Network. You're a place for cartoons.
Exactly.
Cartoons. It's in the damn name. Cartoons.
That's right. And more on
So,
Disney. We're going to have more on Disney, George. I'm going to pass this one over to you about Tim Burton, and I'm going to pull up the IndieWire article here. So we're going to talk about a little bit Tim Burton and how he feels about working at Disney, living Disney. And, George, you can go ahead and take it away, bud.
okay, yep. Sure, no problem. Give me one second. Let me pull the IndieWire article. Okay, so Tim Burton says he's done making movies, and he calls the Disney company a horrible big circus. And he literally said this because so as some of you know, if you're a big Tim Burton fan, Tim Burton is one of those producers and directors that once he makes a movie, he doesn't look at it. That he just he works with people that kind of already know his mindset and how he likes to work, what he wants them to do. That's why you see him. He uses a lot of the same people like James Keaton, Helena Bonham Carter. This actress is slipping my name, but she played, Miss Peregrine. And he uses Johnny. That's why he uses Johnny Depp a lot. And that's why he uses, if you notice, a lot of his movies include the dad from Beetlejuice. Pardon me if I can't remember his name, but he uses these people because they already have a relationship and a chemistry with him, and they know exactly what he wants. So going back to him speaking on Disney, so he was at a Luminaire festival in Leon, and he was receiving the Prix Luminaire. Burton revealed that the 2019 film likely marked the end of his long-running creative relationship with Disney, and this was via Deadline. I'm sorry. He began his film career.
Sorry, you want to share?
Oh,
go ahead and screen share, George. Go ahead and screen share.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me just screen share. Okay. Hold on. Let me get there. Can you see it?
I don't.
Can you see it?
No, actually, this is not working out. This is not working out.
No, wait, hold on.
Or you could just send me the article. It's all right.
You had the article. You sent it to me. Remember?
No, it's from IndieWire. The article.
Yeah. That's the one I'm reading.
Okay. I thought it was a different one because it said deadline.
Okay.
But anyways, go ahead.
No. Yeah, I'm just trying to. How do I stop sharing on this? Oh, stop streaming.
By the way, I'm echoing.
Okay. All right, here we go. So just scroll that. So I'm reading that exact article. By the way, can you hear me?
Can you see me? Can you see the?
Yeah. Okay, so like he began his film career as an animator at Disney before Warner Brothers, and they hired him to make a live action uh direct directorial debut on on Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Like he made, for those of you who don't know, Tim Burton directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and then he returned to work. He made that for Warner, and then returned to work on Disney films like Ed Wood, which um, I feel like Ed Wood is definitely like at the time, like Ed Wood did not do very well, but it for today's audience, especially if you're a film geek like me, if you're into film, know film history, and definitely there's a lot of things in there for everyone. And also Nightmare Before Christmas, Alice in Wonderland, Frankenweenie, and most recently Dumbo. Now, Burton believes that the entertainment landscape has shifted to the point where it no longer makes sense for him to collaborate with the entertainment giant. He explained that his experience working on Dumbo made him realize that Disney had gotten too big for him. He said, and I quote, "My history is that I started out there," Burton said. "I was hired and fired like several times throughout my career there. The thing about Dumbo is that's why I think my days with Disney are done. I realized that I was Dumbo, that I was working this horrible big circus, and I need to escape. The movie is quite autobiographical at a certain level." And then he also says, during a masterclass, the Festival Friday, Burton also shared his thoughts about the state of the superhero movie. His remarks on the 1989 film Batman helped establish many of the genre tropes, and that's true. For those of you who don't know, the first Batman movie ever created that starred Michael James Keaton.
And that was directed by Burton, right?
Yep. Tim Burton is the reason why Batman is the way he is today. Like he brought that vision from the comics that that Bob Kane had, and he made it into and he brought it to life on the big screen. Burton is surprised to see how influential it continues to be, and he says it did feel very exciting to be at the beginning of it all. It's amazing how much it hasn't really changed in a sense. And then he says the tortured superhero, weird costumes, but for me at that time it was very exciting. It felt new. He said the thing that is funny about it now is people go, "What do you think about the new Batman?" And I start laughing and crying because I go back to a time capsule where pretty much every day the studios were saying it's too dark, it's too dark. Now it looks like a light-hearted romp.
Yeah, and that's funny.
And he's not wrong.
Yeah, that's funny because he basically, you say he created kind of like that idea of Batman, and honestly, people like the darker version of Batman, like this current Batman that we have.
Yeah, the thing is, the world, like Tim Burton was definitely way ahead of his time. The thing is, his Batman, like apparently, a lot of kids in the audience were crying, but it's like he understood what Batman was, and now people try to take it. But the thing is, like, because like when they made I think it was Batman Forever. What was the one? If you could look it up real quick, the one that had Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones.
Jim Carrey playing the Riddler.
The Riddler, yeah. So,
oh man, I remember that one. Shoot, I forgot.
Yeah. Like they wanted him to tone down, and then they brought in, fucking, what was his name? Joel Schumacher, which for those of you who don't know, he worked on The Lost Boys. Love The Lost Boys, great movie. But Joel Schumacher, I'm sorry, like his style, like it didn't work for Batman. It just didn't work. It was too campy. Yeah, for Batman at least. For The Lost Boys, it worked well. But for this, I don't know. Joel Schumacher, he just can't do superheroes. He can't.
Yeah. I'm always amazed. Just a little going out of the subject here. I'm always amazed how some directors, they will pick up a project that they are like absolutely incompatible with. Like when M. Night Shyamalan decided to direct Avatar: The Last Airbender live action, And I'm like, that movie could have like turned
Yeah,
out better
yeah.
if somebody else had made
The
that movie.
the problem with M Night Shyamalan is when he did the movie Signs, a lot of people, critics praised it. People loved it. They considered him to be the next Spielberg, and he let that get to his head. That was the problem with M Night Shyamalan. His ego got so big that some of his movies got so, like, for example, if you watch the movie Devil, there's a scene where the security guard throws toast up in the air and it lands jelly side up. He's like, if the toast lands jelly side up, it means the devil's nearby. And I'm like, are we supposed to be taking this seriously?
That sounds funny.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's not what people in the Vatican do, but okay. But anyway, going on. I'm sorry, I went on a tangent there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim Burton, I kind of get where. I mean, Tim Burton, he did a lot for Disney, and he made care like that his properties, his IPs at Disney, like Nightmare Before Christmas, are very protected. That's why Disney, they don't try to make anything else of it. And right now, Tim Burton, I mean, he recently did the Wednesday series, which is,
That
about
was
Wednesday
his?
Addams. Yeah, that was his.
Oh wow, I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah. And I think
I
I
can't wait to
know
watch that. By the way, I'm hyped
Johnny
up for that one.
Johnny Depp is supposed to have a part in it. I don't know who. I have to see. Hold on, let me actually look this up.
Well, no, well, we gotta keep going. We don't. We
Yeah.
really don't have time to like stop and look at things. But
Yeah,
wow.
but yeah, he made that, and then he's also coming out with Beetlejuice 2, and Johnny Depp is going to be involved in it. But
He
a lot
always
of people
works
are
with
like,
Johnny
oh,
Depp. He always works with Johnny Depp, doesn't he?
because Johnny Depp was one of his OG cast members, and Tim Burton. Think about it. Johnny Depp was in Sleepy Hollow, which Tim Burton made, and who else is in Sleepy Hollow? The guy who played Lydia's dad from Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also yeah, there was someone else in there too. Yeah, that like Tim Burton just always works with the same cast because they know what he wants without him saying anything. There's like an unspoken relationship there.
Yeah, there's
Like,
like,
that's
a
why-
good chemistry between them, right?
Yeah, that's why he'll work with like Michael Keaton, Vincent Price. I know, like, so for those of you who don't know, Vincent Price played Edward Scissorhands' father, and Vincent Price throughout like I think it was through the 70s, 80s, he was a huge horror icon and macabre icon, and he was one of Tim Burton's idols. That's why he made the short film like Vincent, and it was about him, and it was about this kid who wanted to be like Vincent Price, and but yeah, and I could see where like, yeah, it's because Burton, like, Hollywood did not know what to do with him when because it's like Burton only likes to work with scripts that he is genuinely interested in.
That's good.
So yeah, and honestly, I admire him as a director for that, and that's how it should be,
And also,
And
he you kind of miss this part a little bit. He also says that he pointed out in the article that Disney's lack of creativity and just lack of modern innovation that's also what made him leave.
And he's right, because first of all they're doing is just rebooting all their animated stuff to live action, which I'm sorry, like, no, like, stop. Like, there were some like that were all right, but it's like, no, like, stop. Like, come up with original ideas, Disney.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
also-
sorry. The last original idea they had was Coco, and the only
No, that
thing
was
that
really
I
good.
didn't-
That was actually really good.
the
man.
only thing I didn't like, and a lot of people are mad, Disney tried to put a copyright. They tried to get to copyright Dia de los Muertos, saying that they own it. It's like, you idiots. You do not.
Yeah, right.
You do not own a fucking culture. You don't. So quit trying to.
That was a nice
And that
attempt,
is-
though.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Disney. And I know Adam Conover, he did a thing about, how Disney kind of ruined animation, because so a lot of things that are public domain, like, for example, fairy tales like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, they were public domain for a long period of time. But then Disney made their own, and then they didn't become public domain. They wanted to act like they owned that, but it's like, and that's where, Disney kind of ruined that. It's like, because Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, they're supposed to be public domain properties. Cinderella, I mean, they still are, because there's been parodies of adaptations of Cinderella in things like the Muppets and other. Yeah, the thing is, like Disney, like they want to be the kings of fairy tales. It's like, okay, you made good adaptations of long old fairy tales. Now come up with something new and original.
Yeah. Also, I want to throw this in there because I always keep telling people like it was Walt Disney and Roy Disney, right? They after Walt Disney died, Ronald took over, right? His brother. After Ronald passed away, then there was no other Disney family member that came and try to take over the company or run things, right? To
Yeah,
continue on with the vision. Like the Disney family, like their children, they're not interested in running the Disney company whatsoever. Like
that's fine.
I
That's
was looking, yeah, but I'm saying like at least they could have like followed through with their father's wishes and keep running the company accordingly.
yeah. I know it's a hard thing to do because the thing of it is, you got to remember, even though they're his, well, technically it'd be his grandkids at this
Mm-hmm.
point. They're his grandkids have their own lives and have their own aspirations. Yeah, they would love because for all you know, to have all that fame and attention for being known for being like, let's say you're the grandkid of Disney, and all you're known for is that you're Walt Disney's grandkid, and that your granddad started this big mega company, but they see you as they just see you as Disney's grandkid. They
Basically,
don't see you
Jada
as
Smith.
yeah, they don't see you as nothing else. And so therefore what they want to do is they want to, create their own identity. They want to be their own selves. They don't want to just have for all we know, like they probably have different last names. Or maybe they don't. I don't know what they do for they're probably living off of
Yeah.
royalties of every Disney prop of every
I
single
mean, I
Disney
get it.
property.
I get it. I just think that if the Disney family would have been running it, it would have been different because the way that the way they see it is like, oh, well, this is my father's company. Let's continue on with how he would run it, right? But anyways, I do want to go on to another topic. So we talked about Disney's current CEO, Tim Burton. People like Tim Burton leaving Disney. I want to go into a little bit into Disney anime because Disney is investing heavily into anime. Well, not heavily. I'm sorry, not heavily, but they're already making deals in
They're,
Japan,
they're,
and
they're trying to get like they're trying to cap because their first big bite of anime was literally Studio Ghibli.
that was in the
And
'90s, though.
yeah, and the reason they capitalized on that because it was family friendly. And now they're seeing that shit, we should have capitalized on Dragon Ball Z, but they don't realize they do not understand the way the Disney the I'm sorry, the way the anime fan base works.
Exactly.
Like they have no idea what the fuck they're in for.
All right, so let me bring this article here. So I'm here at animegeek.com, and it says Bleach Disney Plus Hulu USA streaming deal confirmed. What it means for Uncensored Blood weekly episode simulcast release schedule. So basically, it's been confirmed that um, if you have a Crunchyroll membership, you're not gonna find Bleach on Crunchyroll. All the episodes have been removed because Disney, they want to have
You're
distribution
most
rights.
it's on Hulu because Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's gonna be on Hulu because Disney owns Hulu. They're gonna have the episodes there, and but
Then in that
can
case,
you?
I think I know what's.
But
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So what I was gonna say is that can you imagine like because they wanted one of the big three animes because the big three was One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Bleach, and Naruto. Actually, that's four. Sorry, but they wanted one of the biggest, the most popular ones. So they got their hands on Bleach because they couldn't get Naruto. And in case you guys do not remember, Disney actually played Naruto on was it Disney XD for
Disney,
kids?
yeah, they did Naruto Shippuden, but it's
Yeah.
like it was like I
It
don't know,
was
like I don't know what happened with that.
it doesn't
Like
look good. Like it just doesn't look good on Disney. Like the branding, you have something like dark like Bleach, with you know what I mean? Like it's not very kid friendly. It's just not something you imagine on
I
Disney. But
I think what they're gonna do is because Bleach Thousand Year Blood War arc, it's already streaming on Hulu.
mhm.
I think they're just gonna, for example, Nightmare Before Christmas, going a little bit back to Tim Burton, they didn't want Disney wanted nothing to do with it, so they put it under Touchstone. It wasn't until years later that Disney fully embraced it. So
Yeah,
they're
after it
probably
started
gonna.
making them money.
So I think what they're gonna do, I mean, I don't think they're gonna do a lot with it, and that part of the reason because, bro, they have The Simpsons on Disney Plus, and they have not changed a thing to them. If they can
I
have The
hope not.
Simpsons, no, they haven't. And I can tell you because as a Simpsons fan, I've been watching it. All new episodes come out on Hulu because Disney owns Hulu, and Hulu, Fox is on Hulu. Nothing is censored, so therefore, they're probably just gonna because they know that fans are gonna get upset that they if they try to censor this, that, and the third, or try to change. So they're probably just gonna keep it on Hulu, and yeah, they might put it on Disney Plus, and they're just gonna let it be because if they try to change something in the English dubbing that is supposed to mean something else. It's one thing when you change a word, like for example, in Dragon Ball Z, and it wasn't supposed to be over 9,000, it was supposed to be over 8,000, but because 9,000 matched the flap, okay, the audience accepted it. That's an acceptable change.
Yeah.
But if you're going to completely try to change what Bleach is about and try to, I don't know, like let's say like what 4Kids did with One Piece, and because we all know that Sanji in One Piece, he smokes cigarettes. They changed it to a lollipop. Yeah, they gave him a lollipop. Everyone's voice just didn't feel right. They'll get 4Kids and they'll lose the rights to it. They'll do that. And literally, Tai Kubo, the mangaka that created Bleach, yeah, he won't fucking have that. He will not fucking have that.
Yeah. Oh, going back to the joke you made, they chose 9,000 over 8,000. Like 8,000 would not sound cool if you let out. It's over 8,000. Nah, that doesn't sound cool.
Yeah, well, and also the flaps, because when you do English dubs, what you say has to match the lip flaps on the character.
Yeah, that's true.
So therefore, in English, 8,000 would not match the flaps. However, 9,000 would. So a lot of people, look, whether you watch anime dub or subbed, it doesn't matter. Enjoy it. It's anime. Whether you're watching it dubbed in Spanish, dubbed in English. Me, I personally, I like a lot of my anime dubbed in English because one, as a person with ADHD, I get sometimes reading the subtitles and trying to focus on the story can be a bit much for me, at least. But at the end of the day, it's what matters is the story, the content. And as long as the story is good, regardless of what language you watch it in, it's a good story.
Right, and also, so we talked a little bit about Bleach. Now, I want to bring something else because Disney wants to invest into anime. Now, for those of you who don't know, Disney actually has some anime being made in Japan, and one of their top anime in Japan, for the because for the Disney branch in Japan is called Twisted Wonderland. Right, here in America, you probably have never heard about it. It hasn't come to America. It started out as a mobile game in Japan, and then it made into an anime. Right, and so we talked about Bob Chapek saying something like, "Oh, the adults don't want to watch animation," right? And Disney no longer invests into the animation because they're lazy and they just want to make money, right? They're just money grubbers at this point. So Disney decided to start investing into anime, such as owning the distribution rights to Bleach, the streaming rights, right? And also, I'm going to go back to this article. This is from, when was it? This was last year sometime? No, this was earlier this year, March. Right, so Disney Plus is promoting itself to Japanese anime companies. This is coming from Anime News Network, which is now owned by, who owns it now? Kadokawa. Kadokawa owns Anime News Network. I just want to read some stuff here, right? It says Disney held a business seminar at Anime Japan on Monday. This happened back in March. So yeah, the Japanese businesses. This was an interesting opportunity to gain some insight on how the media company is approaching the Japanese market, right? It said the next speaker was well, hold on a second. Explain. Yeah, so somebody, basically the head of animation in Disney, explained that Disney wants to represent works from around the world and in identify anime as a focus area for the company. He said that the big emphasis was in diversifying the content and infer that they have no intention of influencing creators to fit the traditional Disney brand. And the reason why they say that right there is because they know Japanese people don't like it when you mess with their creativity. They
Yeah,
hate
they
that.
know. Well, no doubt. Then they obviously did their research with what happened with Four Kids in One Piece.
Oh,
Because if
by
you
the
try to
way,
do that,
yeah. By the way, did you know? Do you remember that anime Love Hina?
yes,
Okay, so the manga artist for Love Hina, he actually ran for political office last year, and this year he actually won during the summer. So
really,
he's part of the Japanese council. So he is going to influence decisions on on basically the media, animation, anything that I believe things that have to do with entertainment and creator rights, things like that. He's gonna be a political influencer on that. He's gonna be able to speak on that. So I'm really glad that he ran for office. Like I was shocked that he won, you know, and because he did
well,
that to protect the creativity rights of Japanese artists because he was afraid of Japan being influenced by by Western ideas and the Japanese losing creativity. Kind of
yeah,
like
and
how
that,
we're doing now here in America.
yeah, and here's the thing. So part of the thing, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's because they're this." It's like, no. Listen, as someone who took and also Andy, I forgot to mention, I also have an associate's degree in business, and having taken global business, uh, so when certain things, like let's say a certain property, a certain movie is made here in the West, sometimes certain movies either don't make it to other countries because
Right.
the jokes don't work well with that culture, or they had to change some things around in order for it to make sense for that culture.
Mm.
For example, I'm going to use Steven Universe just as an example. As we know here, like the two gems that make up Garnet are representation of two two girls. Those are two girls, in love with each other.
This is Steven
Uh,
Universe, right?
yeah, yeah. Now,
Okay.
however, the gem that uh the reddish brown one. I'm sorry, I suck at remembering character because I know the blue one was called Sapphire. Um, that one in Germany, they gave that character a mustache simply because Germany did not, they felt that one of the characters should be masculine, and so they had to change that for the appeal of that, of that culture.
Gotcha.
And a lot of countries, they don't like global business. Like for example, a lot of countries don't like the fact that franchises like McDonald's or something they feel like they're losing their culture. So they either push to get rid of it, or they what McDonald's does is, for example, if I've gone to McDonald's in Guatemala, and a lot of the meals there they come with tortillas because as a Guatemalan, like we love to eat tortillas, so they do that. Like it'll they try to tweak some things on the menus to appeal to that culture, or they'll change the packaging, based on the colors that that culture likes, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So basically, what they're doing now, what Disney is doing, is they're doing a business to business deal with Japanese animation studios, with the understanding that they
We are
can
not going to. We're
distribute.
not here to change your
Yeah,
culture, basically.
exactly. They have to understand that they are distributors of that anime property on their streaming services, or movie theaters if it's a movie, but they cannot change something because it's like that's just how it is. Like when you do global business, you have to understand that each country, there are certain things you can't say. Like for example, Chinese, and I've learned this, they do not like you for you to tell them bad news directly. You have to say something like, you know, things, things don't seem to be doing, as well, or
Oh,
things
is
were
that
doing better.
actually like in China? They don't like you to tell them the bad
You
news
they
right
don't
away.
they Yeah, they consider it offensive if you tell them bad news right away. You have to say it indirectly.
Oh man, holy
You have
crap!
to say it and that is a bit, and that's big in the world of business. Like, yeah, they don't like, they don't like things to be told directly. Also, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think there are certain things you can't like. For example, they prefer a nod or a bow over uh, a handshake. A handshake, I think, is to close it, but it's mainly a bow or a
All right,
nod.
let's keep it a little, getting a little off topic. Let's keep it with
But
Disney and
yeah, I
Japan.
know. But I'm just this is just to clarify, why certain companies can't do certain things, and it's because it's a business to business relationship. And that's what Disney is doing with these Japanese animation studios.
Yeah, exactly.
It,
And there's a couple of more things here. Actually, no. Oh yeah, so some of the anime that Disney has produced in Japan, right?
yeah.
They haven't come up here. They haven't come over here in America yet. But Disney anime that they produce in Japan, some of the titles is one of the titles is Tatami Time Machine. Another one is Black Rock Shooter, Downfall, Summertime Rendering, and Dance Dance Danzur. Right. So these titles are coming. By the way, Disney already made a Star Wars anime on Disney Plus. I haven't watched it, but I know it's there. Right, Star
Hold
Wars
on.
Visions.
Is it anime or is it anime adjacent?
Well, it's
'Cause
Star
for
Wars.
it,
Star Wars Visions is basically like a short like a anthology of short stories. It's all anime style. It's done in Japan.
so it's an anime adjacent. We could say it's kind of like what they did with Afro Samurai. It's drawn in the style of anime, but it's not technically. It's not an anime. It's an anime influence. Therefore, it's an adjacent. You understand what I mean?
No, I understand what I mean, but it was. I mean, it's owned by Disney Plus, but
Yeah.
it was made by a Japanese studio with the anime style. So
Okay.
yeah,
Then,
yeah.
then if it was made by then all right. Because if it was made by, for example, Avatar: The Last Airbender, that is an anime adjacent.
Yeah, it has anime aesthetics. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's an adjacent of anime, but it's not an anime.
right. And the reason why I bring this up, George, is because back in if we go back to like I think like a little before the 1950s, yeah, 1950s, right? So, Disney was the one like bringing their animation over to Japan. I mean, I remember the creator of Astro Boy, Osamu Tezuka. He was inspired by Bambi and shit, right? The Disney style of drawing. He was inspired by Bambi. He was absolutely amazed by it, and then as a result, he became like that's how he turned out to be the artist that he is today, right? Because of Disney influence. And
Wait,
now,
are you sure? Wait, wasn't that Hayao Miyazaki?
no, no, Hayao Miyazaki, that's Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, no, but wasn't he the one that drew Bambi over and over?
No, no,
Wasn't he the one that became?
it was Osamu Tezuka. That's the creator of Astro Boy. This is like back in
Oh,
the
okay,
40s and 50s.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was him, Tezuka, and Tezuka is the one. The reason why manga looks the way it is today is because of him, Osamu
Mm-hmm.
Tezuka. He did a whole bunch of manga. It's crazy, but yeah. So fast forward to today. Now it's Disney looking at Japan for animation. So America has stopped producing animation, and now it's the roles have reversed. And I always find it so ironic because it was Disney who pioneered like modern animation and introduced it to Japan. And the reason why we have anime is because of Disney. But now anime has become, the Japanese have mastered it so much that Disney decided, like forget our own animation. We're just gonna go and invest into them, right? Like, it's gone in a circle, right? It's gone in a circle. Now we literally have Disney anime, you know.
Yeah,
So
because what people don't realize is anime has, like, before anime was just seen as something Japanese. If you liked it, you were alienated by it. But now it's become very loved and very embraced, especially by this generation of kids. They embrace it full heartedly. Like, there's now a whole culture for it right here in the West and globally around the world.
by the way,
I like.
By
Yes.
the way, like the reason why Disney is this is, I forgot to mention this, but the reason why Disney is also going into Japan into anime is because a lot of people don't know this, or maybe if you follow my channel, you're probably aware of this already, but a lot of people still don't know that anime, as good and as beautiful as it looks, is actually cheaper to make than American cartoons. So for like in George, you're not gonna like me for this, but for an ugly American cartoon like and I like
And it's fine, man. It's
like the
I say
regular
no.
show, like the regular show. I think it's a cartoon.
Hey,
People like it.
hey! Don't be dissing regular.
I
Regular
mean, it's
shows the
just like I
bomb.
don't like the drawing styles. Like the drawing style, it looks too easy and
Yeah,
too cheap, right? Like
I
I know
mean,
it's funny. I know it's funny.
yeah, yeah. To each their own. I listen. I respect that. If I respect that. You don't like it. You don't like the drawing style. I respect it. But it's like. But I will say this: the story. I love it. I love regular show.
Right.
I love what the content that it has. It spoke to me. As as a 30-year-old millennial. Especially if you're right now that I'm on my last year of university. I'm going to be graduating this spring. It definitely to this day. So I would say regular show is definitely a coming of age cartoon for a person who's in college and starting
Yeah.
to get used to adult life. Like that's what it is.
Yeah, but you see,
And
George, you see, the regular show, an animator in America, they will make like $3,000, $4,000 to make that show a month, right? $3,000, like about from 3,000 to $4,000 per month salary to work on the regular show. In Japan, to work on even something as popular as like Naruto or My Hero Academia, a lot of animators they don't make more than $1,000 per month. And that's like McDonald's fucking minimum wage and shit. $1,000 per
yeah,
month. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's where they are. And that's where I think that's one of the reasons why Disney decided to go for anime. It's cheaper, people like it, and they can produce a lot of it, and just put
yeah,
it on their streaming platform and get people to subscribe to more and more people to subscribe to Disney, right? And it's just freaking sad that just because animation is expensive, we don't want to like put time into it. You know,
yeah.
we
'Cause the
don't
thing
we
is,
don't want to go back to the formula that used to work.
here's the thing. Here's the problem with America. It's a problem with it's like we have so much instant gratification, and this is why for me, especially the superhero genre, I love superhero movies. Although nowadays I'm more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy. I love Marvel, still do. I love Stan Lee and what he did, but the way they're pumping out Marvel show after Marvel show after Marvel movie after Marvel movie, it's become so saturated, and they're bringing it out so quick simply because they want to cash in. That okay, the quality and story definitely has gone down. And it's like, bro, like give us some room to breathe. Like for example, with anime, they take their time to make it. Yeah, it's frustrating, especially like me, for example. I wait for like right now I'm watching One Piece, and I know for One Piece people, like I read the manga, but as far as the anime, because I watch it dubbed, I'm waiting for certain episodes to be dubbed leading all the way up to Wano because I want to be able to enjoy it, in that language. No disrespect to anyone who doesn't like it that way. To each their own.
Yeah, that's all right.
But either way, we are patient, and we know that it takes time to come out with manga chapters, to come out with anime, and we understand and we respect the work that Japanese animators do, which is why we're willing to go out, buy the merchandise in support of the franchise, in support of the anime, because we appreciate the hard work that goes into that story. And what I hope with Disney starting to adopt anime, that they realize, and I hope they pay attention to their numbers, that they realize that okay, well, here's what they're going to do. Watch. They're going to see that the numbers of anime jump, and they're going to try to have these animators mass produce the anime, and they're going to say, no, that's not the way it works.
And underpaying them in the process.
Yeah. Watch. Disney's going to be like, hey, can you pump this out faster? And they're going to say, no, you have to wait. And Disney's going to have to learn. Hopefully this teaches Disney, okay, art doesn't rush.
They're not going to learn.
Because honestly,
they're not going to learn.
Because honestly, I remember back in the day when a new Disney Pixar movie came out, we would wait years. And why? Because they took the time to develop a good story.
Yeah, it takes about 5 years to make a Pixar movie, doesn't it?
Yeah. Why? Because it took time to develop a good story. It took time to, to edit, to make, and for it to, to understand, in the research of what, and doing test audiences and stuff like that. Now they just want to pump out, like, same thing with the Marvel. Like, it's almost like they kind of lost the focus of who their audience was with the Marvel movies and how they should have done. Like, I have nothing against them producing Marvel shows, but bro, give us a break. Take your time. Like, yeah, sure, give us
That
Marvel
is true.
shows.
That is
Give us
true.
Marvel shows, but take your time to develop them and actually write decent freaking shows.
Yeah, and
Like,
I want to add something to that because you're definitely right about instant gratification. And I think that's just something that's part of our culture here in the West. Instant gratification. People just want to look for the fastest way to make money without the least amount of efforts. People don't want to put into more effort into things anymore. And that that part of our culture, our mindset here in the West has gone into our industries. Whether if it's even video games now, I started to notice animation, like we're just outsourcing. Do it, hire, do it for cheap and sell it for high. And I think that kind of works in certain industry. Like if you're in real estate, that's okay. But if you're into the animation and in entertainment business,
yeah. You need to realize that you're yeah, because they need to realize you're selling an art, and to sell art, okay, people just aren't just gonna buy any random thing and call it art. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's the sense of like, okay, this artist wrote their name on the table, it's art. But honestly, like when it comes to selling visual like art in the form of media, like people want that to be top-notch quality.
exactly.
That is what they want. They want a good story. They want good acting. They want everything to be done well. We do not want to see something mediocrely produced.
And you know what? Something. You mentioned that they're making just a whole bunch of Marvel shows, right? The funny thing
Yeah,
about
and
that is that they made a whole bunch of Marvel shows, and in the process, what ended up happening is that they created even more of a superhero fatigue. Like people are just tired of it, and they want to take a break.
yeah, like honestly,
The opposite
like
started happening.
yeah, like honestly, don't get me wrong. I love superheroes, still love them to these days, but honestly, I enjoy. I'd rather watch the animated series. I'd rather watch the old 1990s Spider-Man animated series and some of the new DC stuff, the old Batman stuff. I get more excited when I see, like, I haven't seen Black Adam yet, but I'm more excited to see that than see anything that Marvel, because it's like, oh, actually, except for Wakanda Forever. I'm excited for that. Wakanda Forever, I am excited for, because Chadwick Boseman, rest in
Boseman.
peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace. That is the only Marvel property that currently, right now, I am excited to see.
Yeah.
Because
And
right now, like,
apparently people are kind of apprehensive about that one too because I don't know
why?
because like because Chadwick Boseman is not gonna be part of it, so he's like, now we're gonna go
Well,
watch.
well. Okay, people need to understand. We're living on the legacy because people didn't know Chadwick Boseman. He was fighting colon cancer.
Right. By
He
the
was.
way, I love to talk about Boseman, but we got to move on to our next topic.
Yeah,
First.
yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
But yeah,
with all due
but yeah.
respect, I love Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. Fair enough. Sorry, but yeah, but like I was saying, Marvel, Disney, slow down with fucking, like, pay attention to who you are. You're Disney. We get you want to make more money, but there's a right way to make more money, and then I'm sorry, like right now you're producing Marvel movies faster than Scarface snorted cocaine and fucked up his whole empire.
All right, guys. So let's wrap that one up. So now we're gonna talk about people leaving Disney. Right, people leaving Disney. Now, have you guys heard about the the Sundance Animation Studio?
Oh, the Sundance. Yeah, I mean, I know the Sundance Film
Did
Festival.
you know?
Yeah, and I think they.
There's also the animation studio. The animation studio is filled with a lot of people that escaped Disney, and now they're making their own projects, right? Well, so a lot of people are taking a lot of old Disney talent. For example, and by the way, guys, I'm not trying to get political here. There's no politics here. We're just doing this for fun. So you guys know about the Daily Wire that is owned by Ben Shapiro, right? So it actually turns out if we go here to Cartoon Brew, Cartoon Brew. Says former Disney showrunner appointed to vice president role at the Daily Wire, right? So this man, a guy that used to work for Disney, is that what's his name? Chris Sonnenberg. Chris Sonnenberg. I forget what his job was, but we'll find out in a moment. So it says right-wing media Daily Wire continues to grow its kids entertainment branch by appointing daytime Emmy-winning showrunner Rapunzel's Tangle Adventure Chris Sonnenberg as its senior vice president of animation development and production. Right, so the Daily Wire started making their own animation shows. Ben Shapiro, he's doing a lot of great things with that company. And actually, they have this show called Chinchilla, Chilla Time, I think it's called. It's a show about these chinchilla family and shit, right? It looks pretty cool. It's good for kids, right? It's for kids, for children. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, I thought I almost lost you for a second. Yeah, so basically, it's
show. I'm here.
It's a show for children, and the reason why the Daily Wire decided to do this is because they saw what Disney was doing with children's content, trying to like teach kids about what, all that sexual stuff, right? And so Daily Wire.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the Daily Wire, they said, all right, you know what? Let's combat this. We're gonna make our own family-friendly children's shows. Go ahead, George.
So pretty much, Daily Wire is trying to be Ted Turner Television back when shows like you remember Captain Planet. Let me see. There was another one. I want to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I don't know if that was Ted Turner. I think Ted Turner Television came out. Ted Turner was television was coming out with a lot of like the DIC company DIC. They were coming out with a lot of shows that were action shows geared towards kids. I remember, I think Rescue Heroes. And so pretty much what Daily Wire is trying to do is they're trying to be Ted Turner Television, which, I'm not against it. Just so everyone know, I literally right now have, I'm not going to get political. Fuck that.
Yeah, no politics. No politics here.
But it's like, I think it's good that we have, I think people need to stop looking at networks as, what politics do they vote for? And just do I like the entertainment value?
Exactly.
Is it good quality? Just that's literally like me looking at, for example, people watch The Simpsons. The Simpsons have always been a part of Fox.
Right.
Fox News is very, right wing. But people still watch The Simpsons. And The Simpsons commentates on everything.
That is true.
Who cares? It's still The Simpsons.
Yeah, you got to take it case by case,
Yes, literally. Their news team sucks, but still, Fox gave us X-Files. I love X-Files. Who cares? Literally, we've gotten to a point where we're judged so much based on who you voted for that it's okay, who cares? Literally, yes, who we vote for does influence, but at the end of the day, you still have to go to work. You still got to pay bills. You still got to eat.
Yeah.
And you need to make money to pay for your streaming services to watch all your entertainment. And also, you still have to deal with with the people in society that voted opposite of you.
Wait, hold on. Wait, yeah.
And you have to coexist.
George, wait, hold on. Let's not go into the voting thing. But so Sonnenberg, it says Sonnenberg has a decade-long career working in animation for companies including Disney, DreamWorks, Fox, among others. Recently, he was a showrunner for Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, which he developed alongside Shane Prigmer. I'm not sure who that is. Other animation department credits, including Kung Fu Panda, Futurama, The Critic, and a load more. So he's been at it since the 90s, the 2000s. Wow, he's got a he's got quite a resume.
It's and that's good. And you want someone with, experience in show running, especially for kids entertainment and animation, because he found a place at Daily Wire. Okay, let him do his thing.
No, but here's the thing. What I'm trying to say here is that people, for all these companies, they're snatching up Disney talent. There were people that were working at Disney for decades. I mean, since the 70s, 80s, right? and then those people are living. I think it was I did a video on Don Blunt,
Yeah.
right? Don Blunt he's trying to make it. I mean, that guy's pretty old, but he's trying to make his own animation studio to bring back, good old 2D animation. He's trying to get an investor, things like that, right? And he used to work for Disney, right? He used to work for Disney, and this is what's happening. All the amazing talent that built Disney, they're leaving and they're creating other things.
I mean,
So,
that's not the first time. That's not the first time that happened. Because if you look at Family Guy and whenever they make fun of Disney, a lot of the people that draw those skits and they draw them well to a T are people that used to work at Disney because Disney tries to
crap.
restrict you. Yeah. So whenever you see Family Guy taking shots at Disney, and they've done it before subtly, a lot of those animators used to work at Disney, and it's not just Disney's.
So it's kind of like giving
animation
Disney
department.
the middle finger, like ha ha ha, look where we are.
Yeah, and it's not just Disney's animation department. Like, you remember those live action shows like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Sister Sister.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of those actors, like for example, the blonde girl from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and she was in High School Musical. She was 29 years old, playing like a 16.
Wait, Maddie?
Yeah, Sharpay.
Wait, Sharpay?
Yeah, Maddie Sharpay. Yeah, She was like in her late 20s, and then Disney, what they try to do is.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Like, they're talking about the blonde girl from the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, right?
Yep. And she was in High School Musical. So she was like, I think in her mid-20s or late 20s. And they were, because of the way she looked, they made her, like, Disney tries to keep you young. And they don't try to, or if you're an adult, like in your 40s, you're typecast as either dad, uncle, villain, and you're very, very family friendly.
Oh my God. Have you seen what's the name? Christy Carlson Romano. She has a whole YouTube channel talking about this. Like
yes.
In Disney, did like working with Disney, all that shit.
Oh, she lives in New Canaan, Connecticut. Just so you know.
Yeah. The way I thought she bought a house in Texas though.
I know. Well, last I checked, no, she does live and she's originally from New Canaan, and she has a house in New Canaan.
I mean,
remember,
she's rich. She's freaking rich. She probably has multiple houses. What the heck?
Remember, celebrities come out here to get away from it. Rob Zombie lives here. Spike Lee lives here. A lot of people celebrities live here.
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
So, yeah, it's like a lot of people live this. They're leaving Disney because it's like you want to be creative. You have all these ideas, and Disney they don't. You can't pitch ideas at them anymore unless it's something that already comes with an audience. And what a lot of companies are doing now, right? They're just kind of playing this rich guy game where oh, we're Disney and we own Marvel and we own Star Wars. Ha ha ha. Yeah, look at us, right?
Listen,
it's the same thing. Wait, it's the same thing with Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, he bought the Lord of the Rings, the rights for the Lord of the Rings. And they just kind of see it as a commodity. Like, hey, look, I have gold and silver. That's kind of how they look at it. It's a commodity.
Yeah, until someone takes over. Okay, and let me just to get off of Disney for a second. Give an example. Like right now, Disney, their CEO is horrible. He's stuck in this money cash cow machine that he doesn't realize. Like he's following a formula that doesn't realize isn't working. Want to know who else was doing that until they got into a scandal and got forced to leave their company? Who? Vince McMahon.
Oh, really?
Of he does. Yeah, you do know he got into a huge sex scandal because him, John Laurinaitis, they were paying off these women who, like McMahon had affairs with. Some of them were WWE talent. He was forced to step down, and Triple H, who now took over the company, is now CEO. He's bringing back a lot of talent that they fired, and he's bringing them back, and he's pushing them, giving them good storylines. Oh, and he opened a Forbidden Door, and that Forbidden Door, for those of you who don't know, don't watch WWE, and those who do know, WWE, they don't like to work with other wrestling companies. They haven't done that since ECW, since ECW with its own independent company way back in the day. But because WWE likes to own everything, every character that they make for wrestling, but now Triple H is starting to see that there's a big love for indie people. Triple H is from the Attitude Era, and he's opening the Forbidden Door to work to have wrestlers on other wrestling companies.
Yeah, you see,
and not just restrict everything. And also, Triple H ended the PG era. He brought back the TV-14 era with swearing, drama, high stakes drama,
All right,
etc., such and so
we
forth.
we gotta move on.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But what I'm saying is, he understood the audience and he understood the internet audience. Vince McMahon, he just kept the formula that and that because he just cared about the casual fan. And now Triple H is caring about both the casual and, more importantly, the internet. Because the internet is the internet is literally where your audience lives, and
that's true.
And it's what makes people watch you. Doesn't make people watch you. And until Disney gets into a big enough scandal where a lot of the heads right now are forced to step down, it's going to continue this way.
Yeah, definitely. And what I wanted to say, I wanted to quote something that that George Lucas said. George Lucas says that, look, all of these modern IPs that that
Disney obtained,
that Disney obtained, they came out of nowhere. Okay, Star Wars came out of nowhere. A lot of these other ideas came out of nowhere. Like the idea for Spider-Man came out of nowhere. The idea for so creativity, right? Creativity. Batman, Superman. These ideas came out of freaking nowhere. What's another one? All these, like Toy Story. The idea for Toy Story came out of nowhere, right? The idea for like I don't know, Finding Nemo, Coco, and all these, it all came out of nowhere. Aladdin. It's right. All these ideas just came out of the blue, but because that's really how creativity is. And Disney is not giving that a chance anymore, right? And that's why all these professional people decided to leave. What is the point if there's no future in creativity? But I want to go on to the next topic because I actually made a separate video about this, but I want to spend a few minutes talking about this because can you see the screen, George?
Yeah, I can see it.
So it says Disney's live-action Hercules will be more experimental and inspired by TikTok, says producer Joe Russo. Now,
what?
Yeah. So,
what? Okay. How does I'm wondering how is this going to be inspired by TikTok? Like the only way I could see that happening, and I'm pretty sure this is what they're going to do. They're going to have some sort of mystical device in the world of Hercules that's similar to TikTok, and they're going to try to incorporate that, and it's going to look really, really bad.
Okay, but you see what I mean by creativity, right? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just taking crap that they think think people would like, and they're leaving behind, what actually made Disney. Disney, like the stories. They're just taking. Oh, what do teenagers do nowadays? Oh, TikTok. Let's just throw TikTok into freaking Hercules. Let's throw TikTok into freaking I don't know. It's
because Disney, like, it's surrounded by yes men. Like, okay, here's a good way to do what Disney is trying to do. You remember the genie from Aladdin, original Aladdin, not Will Smith, but in Disney's Aladdin, Genie broke the fourth wall a lot when he parodied, a lot of modern day, people in, pop culture and stuff like that. And it was funny because, okay, the characters in the universe of Aladdin would look at it as like, what the hell? Why is Genie so goofy? They didn't make it like an emphasizing, point of the show. It was just like, okay, that's what Genie was. He was, a character that expanded across all forms of time. And so therefore he was able to parody a lot of these different things in pop culture. And he did it well. And what they're trying to do with Hercules is they're trying to, like, they did that in the animated Hercules. They found a way to, like, for example, when the kids that were wearing, like, the Hercules sneakers and Hades minions were wearing, his merchandise, that was a good way for Disney to add in pop culture.
But it's within the world. It's within the world of Hercules.
Yes,
they're saying, it's gonna be inspired by TikTok. Are you gonna have like a whole bunch of like blue hair people and like, I don't know.
Yeah. What they mean by inspired by, like, are they gonna make like some sort of mystical communicating device that is?
No, well, let's hear it. By the way, this is coming directly from Joe Russo, from the director himself. This is coming from
Yeah.
him. This is not. People are not making this up. I'm not making this up. So where is it? Okay, so I actually highlighted the parts where like he talks about this. Right? It said Disney's recent live action remakes have been faulted for sticking too closely to the source material. Russo says Hercules will be a little bit more experimental in tone, a little bit more experimental in execution. Okay, right? I mean, it's a live action. You don't really expect it to be the same as the animation, right? But then he goes on to say, there are questions about how you translate it as a musical. Russo says audiences today have been trained by TikTok, right? And this is the flaw right here. This is the flaw. He thinks that his entire audience is on TikTok. Maybe he's just thinking about the young people that are gonna watch it, but they're forgetting about like the uncles, the moms, dads, the grandfathers that are gonna go with the family to watch this, right?
Yeah. Listen,
But
like
he's just
all
thinking.
TikTok is.
But I mean, he's just saying TikTok. What about Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube? You're also forgetting
Listen.
about your YouTube audience too, bro.
Yeah. Well, all those same audiences, they're cross-platform. What he doesn't realize is all TikTok is social, is a new way for people to put social commentary. It's no different than, for example, you make a TikTok video about something that happened and you use sound bites of this and that to kind of relate the emotion. That's no different than us who like we would rant on Facebook about our bad day or the guy that cut us off in traffic. It's no different than that. Only now people are using their voice more. Like, okay, but they're also kind of like, people need to realize it's like, okay, yeah, like it's become a way for, because I think now that I think about it, TikTok was mainly for us to actually use your voice and not just be a keyboard warrior. But now that, everything is going to create their own type of toxicity, and seeing this as inspired by TikTok, I think what he means by it's going to be inspired by the social commentary that people of TikTokers who create videos, such as, because before TikTok, when it was in its infantry stage,
off the bat, this just sounds like a horrible idea.
Yeah, I know. Like, because before TikTok, it was just a place where it's like, okay, you were able to take like, I don't know, say like a scene from Hercules, like a soundbite, and then you were able to kind of like dub it, like your mouth moving, or you dressed up as that character, and then somebody duetted you. That was fun. That was creative. Now it's more become a place where people kind of like a new form of social media where people kind of express themselves. Only now they're able to get more artistic with it, with music, with voiceover AI and stuff like that. And just to like it's so different. Like, I don't know, when like a mom complains about their kids on social media only with text. Now they're using it via TikTok, and I think that's what he's trying to do. Which, I mean, yeah, I'm curious as to how it's going to come out. I just don't think it's going to be very good.
All right, and also
it's going to be as bad as the Emoji Movie.
All right, this stream is getting a little long, so so we're gonna go to our next topics. I want to end this stream with what's happening to the Disney IPs, because Disney is losing what do you call it again? A lot of Disney IPs are going into the public domain, right? So recently,
Yes.
Mickey Mouse is gonna go into the public domain within the next 2 years. By 2024, it's gonna be in the public domain, and I think it's going to be the Mickey Mouse from, what is it? The Mickey Mouse from the 1930s, 1940s.
Right, so Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. Yeah, so because there's different ones. I think there's the Wizard Mickey, Steamboat Willie Mickey, and then there's So that one's going into public domain, and Winnie the Pooh also went into public domain, and somebody decided to make a horror movie out of it,
which a lot of people are happy about.
Yeah, because I mean, Winnie the Pooh was supposed to be this cute little bear, and if you remember the merchandise back in the 90s, I still remember the merchandise of Mickey and Winnie the Pooh back in the 90s. Yeah. It was like, it was something really nice to get for your kids, right?
Yeah.
Any type of Disney merchandise, whether it was Winnie the Pooh, and Winnie the Pooh was something known for like kind of like for like what do you call it when those parties that women have like before they give birth. What do you call it?
Baby showers.
Yeah, baby shower. How did I forget that? Baby showers. Yeah, like Winnie the Pooh was like the known decoration for baby showers, things like that, right? And like now they took that and made it into a horror movie. So, I mean, it's no wonder. So, and also it's not
Yeah.
just Winnie the Pooh. It's also Peter Pan is gonna get a horror movie because again, the public domain is over.
Well, here's what people don't realize. Peter Pan is not a Disney. Peter Pan was. I'm sorry. Peter Pan was always public domain. Like I said, Disney just they like to take these stories that are timeless and they want to make their own, which they're good at making their own. And Peter Pan is one of the few adaptations that, because it was already had a live action adaptation several times over,
Yeah.
Disney made their own live action, and it worked because they stuck to the story. That was good. That was a good adaptation. The same thing with 101 and 102 Dalmatians. The thing is, now Disney, like, I don't know, they're not making an effort when it comes to transitioning those properties to live action. But anyway, that's a whole different thing altogether. But yeah, like now a lot of things are becoming public domain. Though I think if it's only Steamboat Willie, I think people are just gonna. I could see a whole bunch of either people are gonna make carbon copies of Steamboat Willie.
They're gonna make a movie. It's probably gonna be a Steamboat Willie horror movie just for the hell of it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's already animated Disney mouse cartoon that's kind of demented, and it's on Disney Plus. It's like the way it felt like a more adult, like it's kind of like if like the guy who made Rocko's Modern Life made Mickey Mouse. Like that's what it feels like.
Yeah, man. And it's just hold on. Oh yeah, by the way, I want to talk about your story about the what's it called? The movie
Yes.
Reflect. Yeah, so you can go ahead and
Yeah.
take it.
Oh, okay, yes. Too bad.
Yeah,
So
this when I saw the trailer for this, like the buzz about this, I was like, wait, what?
Hold on one sec here, sir.
Like
this
is the way
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
going.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like I'm not here to body shame or anything like that. It's just that, like, I don't know, the way.
It's the way they're executing it is the problem, really.
Like, don't get me wrong. We've seen big characters in and other and there's never been an exclusion whether a character is fat or not or whatever, or they're just big or whatever. But it's like everybody has. I remember for a long period of time, people always promoted healthy eating, healthy diets, and heck,
And now
if
they
you
just
remember,
threw that out the window, right? Forget that. Just
let,
pick out,
let-
right?
let me step away from let me step away from Disney and let me give you another example. You remember Hey Arnold?
Yeah.
So there was a character named Harold.
Oh, the black kid.
No, that's Gerald. Harold.
Oh, Gerald. Okay. I confused
Yeah,
the two.
Gerald is his best friend. Harold is the fat kid that's like my mom. Remember the one that wanted to beat up Arnold because Arnold beamed him in the face with a kickball, or I think it was a baseball.
I think so.
Yeah, the Harold, the kid the Jewish kid. And remember, he wanted to avoid becoming a man, and then he did a whole bunch of things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there was an episode where Harold ate, I think it was like 25 or 100 Mr. Fudgies, and he gained weight. And then he felt he didn't like the fact that people were making fun of him for getting fat. So he went on a cruise, and a cruise that was made for kids who were overweight to lose weight. And what happened? He came back even more overweight to the point where they saw him buy from the Jolly Ollie man. He bought 12 low-fat Mr. Fudgies, and then Arnold tells him, Harold, 12 low-fat Mr. Fudgies as the same as 12 regular Mr. Fudgies. And then at one point he breaks down and he asks Arnold to help him lose the weight. And then Harold, he slims down, but he still looks, like he went back to being normal big Harold rather than obese, big Harold. And, and it ends with the kids, and with him feeling more confident in himself and realizing that the reason he was eating is because he's unhappy, and we need this generation needs cartoons like Hey Arnold
Okay,
that
let me stop you
tackled.
right there. Let me stop you right there.
Whoa, whoa,
Okay.
whoa, 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 wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
Because Hey Arnold tackled a lot of serious topics
Oh hell yeah.
that Disney's afraid. Like, think of it. He helped Chocolate Boy get over his addiction to chocolate. Which, if you look at it in hindsight, that's no different than a crackhead like dancing in the street for chocolate. No, it's true. If you look at the episode, they finds out why Chocolate Boy's addicted to chocolate. It's because his nanny left him when he was a kid for Delaware, and it's so different like when someone who loses a loved one and they drink or they consume drugs to cope with missing that loved one. That's what Chocolate Boy had problems with. And like when he tutored Torvald, a kid who got held back in the 4th grade several times, and believe it, you and I have seen that kid who got held back several times, and he needed help. Like, Hey Arnold tackled a lot of real world issues that that literally nowadays animators, especially Disney
But it was
animators,
done with morals. That's what I'm saying. It was done with morals.
it was done with morality. And yeah, a lot of people first, oh, Hey Arnold was perfect. No, he wasn't perfect. The kid, first of all, his parents, he grew up without parents. Yeah, he had grandparents, but all that morality came because his parents were good people, and he did the right thing, and that's what mainly the show was about. Oh, like when he reunited Mr. Wynn and his daughter. Like, literally, no one. That was the first cartoon to tackle.
Hold on. Wait, George. Wait, you're going a little off topic here, but just going back to the Disney movie here.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like Disney should try to promote. Okay, you want body positivity? Okay, but promote healthy eating lifestyles. I'm not saying shame people for being fat, but understand. Okay, in science class they teach you why it's not good to be overweight, because one, it can kill you, cardiac arrest. Literally, like, it's not about shaming, but it's like, come on, people, like, get motivated.
But aside from all the health issues, what I wanted to say here about Disney is that I mean I told you earlier that Disney, they no longer teach you like good things. They don't like Disney movies, Disney film. They no longer teach you good morals. I mean, look where we are now. I mean, take a look at this, right? We like they're no longer focusing on actually teaching kids good stuff, and that's that's why parents no longer trust Disney with their kids. Like no longer, like a lot of parents, they're tuning out of Disney because you cannot sit your kids in front of a Disney movie and not worry about Disney teaching them some bullcrap, right? Like at least back then, you knew that your kids would learn like some kind of positive message from watching, I don't know, Aladdin or Hercules or The Little Mermaid. There will be something positive behind it, right? But now you sit down and you're like, you're not sure if you if you should sign up for Disney Plus or not, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, listen. The things that were okay. There's a double-edged sword to this. The movies that taught morality, at least back in the day, with Disney animations are, let me see, some of the Mickey Mouse cartoons, the Goofy movie, because they gave Goofy real-world father problems.
Yeah.
Then let me see, Pinocchio, the original Pinocchio. If you want to get more modern, Coco, it's very cultural, but it does teach not to forget your relatives, such and so forth. It's very spiritual, so to speak. And then you got there was for example, but a lot of the Disney princess, we've even studied that. Okay, that's part of the reason why dating culture is messed up, because women expect Prince Charming, when it's like, okay, I'm sorry, Prince Charming is not at the club. So there was a double-edged sword of that, and so they started making, like, for example, Emperor's New Groove. They made a buddy comedy. Lion King, for example. Lion King, I believe, is one of their biggest moral movies ever, because it teaches so much, and it's little funny moments, like when Rafiki is, with Simba, old Simba, and he tells him, like, to look at his reflection, and he tells him, his dad lives in him, and he teaches him that, like, Simba's afraid to confront his past, and then Rafiki tells him, yes, the past can hurt. Now you could either learn from it or run from it. And then he hits him, and he's like, did that hurt? He's like, yeah. It's like, so, and then he swings at him again, and then Simba dodges, and that was a lesson. It's like, okay, you either let the hits that life take you define you and keep you where you are,
All right,
or
George.
you get over them. Wait, or you get over them and you keep going. And that was a lesson that Disney taught with Lion King. And it taught even more than that. I'm not going to go deep into it because I know this stream has gone long enough, but I wanted to emphasize that those were some of the morals that Disney taught, and they're not being taught. Like
They don't care
kind of
anymore.
went.
They don't
They
care.
kind of instead of switching, like, okay, let's give more diverse stories. Like, okay, I guess with they did okay with Frozen. Say what you want about it, but then they I
Frozen
don't know,
was
they
all
kind
right.
of got
It was all right.
yeah, but then they kind of I don't know, they went so super the opposite direction that right now Disney's creative animation story wise it has no balance.
Right.
They've lost balance.
Right, and we're gonna stop right there. One last thing I want to say before we tune out. The one of the things that kind of pissed me off what Disney did to Walt Disney, right? Said Disneyland removes Walt Disney Pro America welcome speech from 67th anniversary celebration. Um, like, why would you remove the speech of the founder himself? You
Wait, what
know,
was it? What was the speech where he says about having a big dream and stuff like
yeah,
that?
his Pro America speech. They removed it from Disneyland, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Like that's Walt's creation. Like, why would you take that away? I thought that was
Yeah,
very disrespectful. And I think Walt Disney is like from the grave, man, from the grave, from heaven. He's like looking down, just shit. Like, what has come? What has become of this crap?
yeah.
What have you done to my company? But anyways, man, I had a lot of fun live streaming. This was really
Yeah,
fun. I've
definitely.
we went through a lot of stuff from Disney, Chapek, Disney anime, modern
We even
Disney.
yep, and we made references to how Disney could do better. And if Disney's listening, yeah, do better, Disney.
Yeah, they mean Hercules becoming inspired by TikTok. It's just all the craziness. So I had a lot of fun. Wait, let me just bring up the page. Right, so I had a lot of fun. Guys, if you haven't already, I'm gonna be doing a lot of live streams like this in the future, bringing in some guests. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications.
Yep.
George, where can they find you? Like if they want to know more about you and like what you're
Yeah.
studying, where can they find you?
To find out more about me, like I said, so go to gothicbard.com. I'm currently working on a whole bunch of projects right now. Working mainly with projects for my school that are I'm working on a lot of ideas. Like right now, I'm actually making a demo to a video game idea I had my freshman year called Cazadores de la Sombra, which is about it's like a horror video game that's based off of legends of South American folklore. But yeah, go to gothicbard.com. I also have another site. I'm gonna link it to you, Andy, right here in the right here in the chat. As soon as I find it, it's the link
right.
to my portfolio website where you can check out a lot of my works.
I'll put guys.
And
I'm gonna put the
yeah,
links in the description. Links are gonna be in the description. So after the live stream is over, you guys can check out his stuff. So
yep,
yeah. So the gothicbar.com, right?
yep. The Gothic Bar, gothicbard.com. Just gothicbard.com.
All right, guys. So George, thank you for joining us tonight here at Andy
Yeah.
Matrix TV. Guys, thank you for watching and listening. This is your boy Andy Matrix and my friend George. So
Yep. All right.
good
Thank you
night,
for having me,
everybody.
Andy. Good night.
Good night, everybody, and